Okay, folks, I'm back. Like I predicted, it's not as rough out here as we're heading out to sea because all the wind's coming off the land. So it was funneling down the river, which made it pretty choppy, but it's pretty calm out here. So I think we'll probably, and as you may gather, it's pretty calm right now. It doesn't seem like it's windy. It doesn't seem like there's any real waves. As you can see, there's not a lot of bobbing around that we're doing. Sailboat behind us catching up. But I don't have my head sail up, but I think we'll put the head sail up and we'll show you what reaching is like. Running is when the wind's behind you. Reaching is when it's coming from one side. Reaching is a pretty fun way to sail. You're not really heeling over as much as if you were tacking or on a close reach where you're going into the wind, trying to zigzag your way into the wind. But you move at a pretty good clip. You know, it's kind of halfway between running and tacking, as you might guess. Tacking is trying to go into the wind, running is wind behind you, and reaching from the side. Then there's various degrees of reaching, close reaching, broad reaching, you know, but reaching itself is wind's right from the side. So we're going to do something like that, and we're going to kick the Geno out because, hey, why not? They can always reel it back up if it gets too crazy. So to do that, let me give you a little tutorial. There's a few things you have to do. Like I said, when you're sailing, there's a lot to think about, there's a lot to do. You don't just put it in gear and drive somewhere. There's a lot to put your mind on. So it makes it fun for me. And most sailors, I think, would agree. Okay, in order to pull the head sail up, the head sail is rolled up like a window shade around the forestay, which is the wire that goes to the bow to hold the mast. You have an aft stay, a forestay, and then the side shrouds that hold the mast up. Very important things. And the head sail is attached to that, and it rolls up on this furler. To unfurl it, there's a drum at the bottom, and when the sail is all rolled up, the drum is without rope wrapped around it. When you pull the sail out, it wraps rope up around the drum. That's what I'm going to untie here. This rope right here, if you can see it. Oops. This works the furler. This is what you pull to turn the drum to roll the sail back up when you're ready to put it away. But for now, we'll let it out, so we have to untie this. Like so. Now I'm very close to an island, so I've got to watch my GPS. We're now at 4.9 knots. Let me get back on the chart. I don't have the chart. For some reason, I'm on menu. There we go. Back on the chart so I can get an idea where the rocks are, etc. There's only one thing I have to worry about on this island. There's some rocks that jut out a ways. We're going to be far enough out to clear those. We've got a fishing boat coming in on us, so I don't want to get in his way. So now, we get that unwrapped, and it's ready to pay out and go into the drum. Next thing we have to do is unhook both tip sheets, as I call it, even though it's really a Genoa sail. Head sail, I don't know, I call them all jibs pretty much. I don't do what all sailors necessarily do. I have my own way of doing things. Pretty much self-taught for the most part. But I'm always trying to learn more and more about it. If anybody has any tips, if something you think I'm doing wrong, I'd love to learn from you because I've been sailing for an awful lot of years, but I'm always finding new things I want to do or stuff like that. Okay, so this, how it works now is we just pull on it, and though you can't see it, the jib sail, the big head sail, will come out and give us a lot more power. So here we go. Hear all that noise? It's got a lot of wind behind it. Now, when I'm wrapping this up, if you notice, I try not to get my hands caught. I try to get my hands out away from it. Because the last thing you want to do is get your hand caught in a winch. And you can hear the wind. And you can also hear how things have got to wave to the fishermen. You got to wave to everybody because you never know who you might need on the water because they're friends with everybody on the water, pretty much. Except for maybe a pirate or two. Okay, so now I'm not quite reaching at the moment. I got to take my winch out and bring some of this head sail in because it's too far up. The winch is a two-speed thing. When I go in this direction, it takes it as fast. I go this direction, it takes it slow, but it gives me a lot more power. So when you get a lot of wind, you can't go the other way. You need that way for power. And we trim her in a bit. So she's tooling right along with the sun coming out. Because when I first started today, felt kind of stupid wearing my sunglasses because it wasn't terribly sunny out. But it's getting better. Now I'll bring the head sail in some because the main sail, because you don't want that all the way out. You want it to be able, like when you're running, you want it to be able to catch the wind and fill up with wind. So we bring her in just a little bit to do that. Still watching the depth, watching a chart plotter, all the things we're supposed to be paying attention to. So here we are. This is pretty much reaching, coming from the side. Still not terribly windy feeling. Moving at a good clip. Let's see what sort of speed we have now. See, it's only 3.5 knots. It always feels faster than it is. Let's bring this back a little more. There we go. Okay, so we're doing right along here. We don't have too far to go as far as before we hit land, so we're going to go a little bit of reaching just to show you what reaching is like. Then I'm going to run back out and we'll tack back, and I'll film when we're tacking, so you'll see how different that is. Okay, folks. Here we go. I think we're going faster now. Let's see. 4.8. I have a knot meter in the bulkhead here, but it hasn't worked in a long time, so I use my GPS to tell me my speed, because GPS will tell you everything. Nice thing about GPS, my knot meter has a little paddle wheel under the hull, through the hull, and it spins when the water's making a spin. So you get the speed of the water over the hull, but that doesn't tell you how fast you're traveling over land, over the actual bottom. GPS tells you how fast you're traveling, actually how much you're traveling over land. Nothing to do with how fast the water's going around or anything like that. So it's a nice accurate way to see how you're gaining progress. So for that, you probably would get a higher reading if you were using the knot meter, because you'd have the water motion. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense to you? Like if you're in a current, let's say in a river, then you're not making headway, but you're going fast over the water, but you're not getting anywhere because you're trying to beat against the wind, and you know what I mean? It's a slot. I was sailing one time in Wells, and it was so windy that I was actually not making any progress at all, yet I was flat out flying and sailing. But there was so much water moving under me that I wasn't gaining. I was just staying right there in the breakwall. Doesn't happen very often like that. We're getting near the rocks now, so we're going to turn around and go the other way. I guess I'll leave it on for a while. I'll show you what we do. Let some wind, some sail out, because now we're going to run again. Now, one thing I like to do when I'm running, I don't know if I will today, is what they call gull winging, or wing and wing, where you have the jib on one side and the main on the other. I could do that. Let's do that. Bring it over. You get to see it at the jibe. Here to jibe ho. That's a jibe like it's supposed to be. That's not an accidental jibe. Now I've got both sails out, gull winging. Get wrapped up in my lifeline. My wife insists that I wear a life vest and a harness. I'm not so keen on the life vest, but the harness, totally agree with it. If I ever fall off this boat, I don't want to watch it sailing away from me. Nice to think I'm still hooked to it. So now we got the sails gull winging. Whoops, I got to keep straight or else it will collapse. There we go. And now it's a lot like having a spinnaker. You got a great big jib on one side, main on the other, and it's tooling right along. And what sort of speed we gathering now? Now, see, 5.7 knots. So that's even better, because we get both sails on now. The other sailboat still has only its jib up, and it's just now coming out of the harbor. So with this stuff up, I can do pretty well. I've kept up with boats with their spinnakers up with these. This is a big deck sweeping general head sail in it. It's nice. The other nice thing is when you're running, is you can see under the head sail because it lifts the head sail up. So if you're reaching or you're running, you can see. When you're tacking, you get it right down tight to the deck, and you can't see. You got to look under it. You got to pay attention to what's in front of you, because it's easy to not see what's in front of you. Okay, that's it for this segment. I'll turn it on again when we're going to Windward.